Yes, there. So the counties also have a responsibility in creating the business environment to attract these investors so that they can set up manufacturing plants within the counties and be able to provide the necessary jobs. The Hustler Fund also will be able to help in terms of those who want to provide indirect services and to these sectors by having the credit facilities to be able to participate in terms of providing services in these areas. So it will be a mix of economic incentives, both at the county level, at the national level, that will be able to drive this kind of agenda. So we need to be able, as a country also, as a nation, to also position yourself. If you are into food security, if you are into agriculture, how then can you be able to participate in this area? But those are some of the areas I believe that the big four will take full advantage of. And it's very important also we don't forget that, yes, healthcare, there was a lot that was done, but in terms of the welfare of the workers, we need to see now the county governments also getting in terms of putting their acts together in terms of managing the welfare of the health workers, because yes, we have the infrastructure, we have the health facilities, but without people working in these facilities, then how can we be able to say that we are delivering health services? So those are some of the areas that I believe William Ruto will be able to move forward the country with.
Now, Dr. Rutich, from what engineer is saying is that for Ruto to actually see this through, make his promises through, that there has to be cohesion between the national government and the county government. Looking at what has been happening in the political scene, we are still seeing those who have found themselves in opposition a little bit rigid, you know, still maintaining that, oh, we will do this, that synergy. What is the President-elect William Ruto likely to do to ensure that, you know, he has that synergy between those in government and those in opposition, given the antagonism that we've been witnessing?
I think when you look at the Kenyans across, you look at a society that is in a dire need, and there is no region or county that will really neglect, because the source of funds the source of funds to the county governments actually, comes from the central government, and in this case, there must be a plan from the central government, to the county governments. And one thing that we must also realize is that we are coming at a time when the majority of our youth are actually unemployed. And this government is coming at a time when we have millions of our youths unemployed. And whatever steps that this government is going to do is to make sure that they make startup on those areas that will absorbed majority of our youth into into engaging activities or other employment. And in this case, I'm looking forward towards the county governments actually being proactive on areas to do with industrialization, on areas to do with food security, on areas to do with health, which has actually been a big problem. Without really enhancing on health issues, we cannot really manage as a country if the health of our society is actually is very low. And in this case, what I'm looking forward to seeing this government actually doing is to invest more in terms of health facilities, invest also more in terms of industrialization to create jobs for our youth, invest more on, because even the issue of housing, it was actually planned in such a way that majority of our youth will be absorbed in those areas in terms of job opportunities. So the issue that is at hand, Madam, are issues to do with where the government actually will get this chunk of money to be able to fund all these projects and the needy for the 7 counties. And that is a task that is ahead of this government, because this government is coming up at a time when we have 10 trillion plus debts. And to service the same debts is actually a daunting task, which is actually ahead of us. And then on top of that again, we want to see, we want to meet the food security. Our country is actually going, in jar. This country is facing a lot of problems. You saw when His Excellency, the President-elect, when he was in Meru last Sunday, he really emphasized on taxation, that this country should be able to pay taxes to enable the government actually move forward. And to me, this is the bottom line. This is the main thing that we must look at it. How is this country going to get more taxes, more revenue to be able to really finance the magnitude kind of investment that is ahead of us? And at the same time, he also talked about completing the incomplete projects. We still had major projects or huge projects that are yet to be completed, which was started by the outgoing government. And even for them to make a new startup, or rather initiate new projects, they must finish the past one, and that also requires a lot of resources. So in this case, I think Kenyans should also really look forward to giving time, because it is in paying the taxes that this government can be able to have that capacity to do the necessary services that they've actually promised. And without that, and then he also mentioned that if we are digging, we don't want to dig deeper into the holes, because it is saying that we cannot afford to borrow and borrow more. And since we have reached a level whereby we may no longer be able to service the current debts, which of course in this case, Madam, I'm seeing this government, as much as we have had a lot of excitement, we must also be able to give them time and also realize that it is through us, those who are actually paying the taxes, that this government can move on. I mean, I've heard Yoweri Museveni, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, some time back saying, we need to inculcate the habit of paying taxes, and so that we can be able to manage, or rather be able to come up, or rather meet the necessities of the nation. And in this case, that is what Kenyans must really appreciate, that it is through the taxation that Kenya can move, this country can move on. I also heard His Excellency, the President-elect, saying, we want to be a country that will loan. We don't want to be the country that will be borrowing. And that is emphasizing so much on local investors, that we must save more to be able to boost our economy, so that it is longing for a time when this country will borrow from their own local investors than going outside the country. And that is the bottom line of where we are going.
Now, Dr. Rotich, before we discuss where the money is and where the funds are, what you are seeing on your screens are live pictures from the Kasarani Stadium there, contingent of, a mix of the security apparatus of the land there. We have GSU, we also have National Police just taking part in that particular jog, or rather exercise, to prepare for what they are going to be doing during the first 4 or 5 hours of today there, being the venue where we are going to have President-elect Dr. William Ruto and his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, take oath of office. Actually, 2 oaths for the president there, an oath of allegiance of the presidency, and this is to the Constitution, as well as oath of due execution of the incoming president. We expect them, and as far as the deputy president-elect is concerned, is expected at exactly 11:35. That is 5 minutes before we see the president-elect arriving to the venue. This is just some warm-up to just, maybe entertain as well as kick off the chill. We understand is that the stadium was open to the public from early as 2 a.m. and as it stands, it's full to capacity, with an extra sitting and a broadcaster section around the stadium being made available for at least 20,000 Kenyans who have thronged the stadium to come witness this moment in history. As I've said, he's a young man who has taken the seat, so to speak, at his first attempt. That is Dr. William Ruto, the president-elect, and he's going to be sworn in a ceremony that is by law expected to take place between 10 and 2 p.m. and in a public place, and that is Kasarani. People gymming, trying to do away with the chill, as well as to, keep fit ahead of the 4 hour. Maybe a majority of them are going to be entertaining us with their military stance, as well as the match that we're expecting to see. So just to ensure that they do not have any stiff muscles. Now, bringing back this conversation back to the studio, Dr. Rotich, I hear you are saying to Kenyans that we need to temper our expectations there. And a majority of Kenyans who have thronged Kasarani Stadium, and those who are even watching us from home, are expectant, especially we want the price of unga to come down. We want the price of fertilizer to come down. But I'm hearing you, Daktari, saying that we need to give this government time. So as I also bring in my colleague there, we are waiting to see what the president is going to prioritize in the next 100 days.
And
is it feasible, actually? Is it feasible to have the prices of unga down in the next 3 months?
I think let me come back a bit about the prices of goods coming down. Look at the prices of fuel in this country. And we have had some, it has not been very easy that the fuel suppliers actually, the prices have been soaring up all this time. And what we have been actually people have been asking themselves, why is it that these prices are not coming down? Now they are selling petrol at 159, and we are now expecting in maybe tomorrow, maybe the prices to go up. Yeah. And you realize that the problem that we have been facing is not necessarily to do with the suppliers. It is about the government failing to pay the subsidies to these suppliers, because the government have to subsidize the prices to enable the people actually have the prices reduced.
You know, he now jumps on the official vehicle and is pulled out slowly with all the honors. He has the last chance to salute to his the troops as he moves out. He has the last chance to look at the beauty of the camp, and then eventually get out there and be told goodbye in a very professional and ceremonial manner. A very important occasion indeed, and very moving. In fact, very, very moving. Just like this ceremony, it's very moving for the person who's actually being given those honors on that day.
So in this case, if the prices goes up, the prices of other commodities, especially consumable commodities like foodstuffs, really goes up. So it is a very difficult thing that, but we are looking forward, because His Excellency, the President-elect, did say that he actually met with the stakeholders in agriculture, the stakeholders, those who are supplying the agricultural inputs like fertilizers, and we are actually looking forward that these prices actually may go down. But how much it will go down remains to be seen, Madam, because there are other things that must have a backup, because the fuel suppliers will not be willing to go to the field to sell their fuel if the government has not actually met the conditions that they're actually demanding. That is the bottom line.
Yes, and just we know that the fuel subsidy is not going to be in effect in the next, actually in this next cycle. And as you said, there's some things that need a backup. The issue of subsidy has been an issue that has been pitching government as well as OMA, oscillating between oil marketers and government, so to speak. So the new administration, when it comes to the cost of fuel, they have their work cut out for them. As well as 1st of October, from 1st of October, we're going to have KRA implement a 6.3% increase in excise duty on some duties. So we needed to temper our expectations and give this administration time to actually, do what they promised. So 100 days, well, we'll wait and see. Troy.
Yes, and let me go to the counties, because looking at Kasarani, and the delegations that we had coming from the counties, a lot of people are more than expectant. And based on what we had President Kenyatta yesterday talk about, that 2.5 trillion in the last 10 years, because now we are headed towards the second regime after the 2010 constitution. You talk about 2.5 trillion Kenya shillings has been devolved to the devolved units. And I know you're an expert when it comes to matters counties and how it has been able to change lives. Let's give it to him. Devolution has been seen to work so far.
Yes.
A lot of challenges, though.
Well, one thing we have to congratulate Uhuru is that he took the bold decision of making sure that he devolved government immediately he was sworn in 2013. Mm-hmm. There are many functions that are supposed to be done with
respond to that question, we want to take you to current residence, and this is the Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua's residence, where we're joined by our reporter Caroline Jenga. Good morning. Bring us up to speed with what is happening there, Caroline.
Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Caroline Jenga, and we are coming live to you from Deputy President-elect resident here in Karen, Rigathi Gachagua. And we are in his gym. He's been working out for the last couple of hours, or rather for the last couple of minutes, as he tries to gear up for the day ahead. And he is one who has risen to the limelight of recent since 2017. When he became the Member of Parliament for Mathira constituency, and now he is a second in command for this country, the Deputy President-elect. And we'll be speaking to him how he feels about this day, what to expect, and also I know outside there the Thanksgiving ceremony that will be held once he's done with doing his workout for this morning. Deputy-elect, if you can just speak to us. This is KBC Channel 1, and we'd like to know how you're feeling this morning. Are you energetic? I can see you've been working out since we came in. Just tell us how you're feeling.
I am great. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling good. I am finally free. My family is free from intimidation, being persecuted by state agencies, being followed everywhere, the fear of poisoning, the fear of being crushed on the road. You know, it's not been easy for 4.5 years. The state agencies have traumatized me. They have persecuted me. They have followed me everywhere. They have tried to poison me. They have threatened my children. They have arrested me. They have put me behind bars. They have made life literally impossible for me. So today, I join other Kenyans in enjoying the new freedom. I'm very happy. I am feeling on top of the world that we are finally free to do what we want, to associate with those whom we want, to belong to a political party of your choice, to choose your friends without having to account to anybody, without anybody asking you, why are you afraid of so-and-so? So to me, is the happiest moment. Forget about me being deputy president. That's a small thing. That I am alive, that I'm well, despite the threats and what had been planned against me. I thank God that today I'm here.
Are you feeling anxious? I know already 60,000 Kenyans are already at Kasarani. They are waiting to hear what you have to say, to hear what the swearing in of the President Ruto-elect, and also the swearing in of you as the Deputy President.
I'm very excited, but I'm also very calm. I have seen many things in my life. At the age of 57, I've seen many things. I grew up in very difficult circumstances. We literally had food to eat. We were brought up in a grass-thatched house. We had jiggers on our toes. We couldn't get school fees. We had a very difficult upbringing. That is even more difficult than what we have undergone. But I'm happy that the people of Kenya have decided to give us a chance. And I want to tell the people of Kenya that Dr. William Ruto and I have a plan for this country. And our first assignment is in the next 2 years to try to restore Kenya to where Mwai Kibaki left us, where people had some money in the pocket, where people could pay their bills, where people could do business, and where Kenyans could do about their lives without being disturbed by anybody. We want less and less government in people's lives and more services to the people of Kenya. That is what we want. So I am told in Kasarani, an old man has called me, and he was here in 1963. He tells me the air of freedom is the same as it was in 1963 when we got independence from the British colonialists. And Kenyans have been terrified. They have been persecuted. They have been humiliated. They have gone through hell. And the country became a police state. There was intolerance. There was dictatorship. And people today feel free. You know, to me that is what is very, very important. Myself and family, we are delighted. We are so excited. We have not known this kind of life for the last 1.5 years. We have been under surveillance. Our telephone calls were being recorded. We were being followed wherever we went. The fear of arrest was imminent. We couldn't sleep. And for the last 2 weeks, it's been very nice. And as a family, we are together, and we have called a Thanksgiving service here this morning to thank God for His mercy to me and my family, and to commit me before God for the journey ahead, so that God can give us grace, can give us favor, to work for the people of Kenya and make a difference and restore the dignity of the Kenyan people, create wealth, make sure that people can pay their bills. People have food on the table. People can pay their bills without too much struggle. And therefore, I'm a very excited Kenyan, extremely excited.
Maybe as we come to a close, is this usually your normal routine? Tell us, as in after here, what to expect.
It used to be my normal routine 5 years ago. I came here and I put up this home 24 years ago, and I put up this small gym 15 years ago. For about 11 years, I was here this morning. But the last 4 years, it's not been easy. There was no time to work out. We were literally concerned about how to live so that we don't get killed. You know, how to dodge policemen, how to survive, how to look for food. We couldn't have time to come and exercise. And in the process, I got in very bad shape. I added so many kilos, but I want to assure the people of Kenya in another 3 months, I'll be looking good. I'll be back to my shape and keep well and keep fit. I'll be doing this every morning so that my mind is in good shape in the morning. We have work to do, so you have to be mentally and physically fit, because the work ahead of us is not a mean feat. You know, we have inherited a dilapidated country with a 10 trillion public debt. 14 million Kenyans are in CRB. 6 young people have no jobs. It's not easy. For you to tackle this journey, you have to be mentally and physically fit. So this will be my routine every morning, from 5 up to 6:30, so that I get in good shape. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that has been the deputy-elect there working out. He has been working out for the last 30 minutes, saying that this is going to be his routine, even as he's working towards making sure that the lives of Kenyans out there is manageable and they can be able to afford basic food, commodities, as well as revamping the economy, which he says has been dilapidated for the last couple of years. As you can see him there going to the next machine to work out a bit. I think it's finally over. Well, Ben Choi, as you've heard, that is there's a Thanksgiving ceremony that is ongoing right now, and I think once he's done here, he's just going to go take a shower, then attend the Thanksgiving meeting, and also now head to Deputy Ruto's, or rather the President Ruto's home, and then to Kasarani Stadium. Back to you, Ben Choi.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for bringing us to speed with what is happening at the Deputy President-elect's residence there in Karen. There, the 57-year-old Rigathi Gachagua, who can be described as a bold leader who has never shied away from speaking his heart, ensuring and saying that he's highly calm. He's anticipating a great ceremony there. We're expecting him at 11:30 a.m. at the Kasarani Stadium, where, as you can see, Kenyans are already waiting for the two. That is the President-elect, Dr. William Ruto, and his deputy there, Rigathi Gachagua. Now, to bring back this conversation back to the studio, before I hand it over to you, Ben, I would want to, inform you that we are also joined by the Advocate of the High Court, that is Gibson Gesore, to take us through this conversation. Karibu sana, Wakili. Now, from what we've heard from the Deputy President-elect, Rigathi Gachagua, and I'd want to start with you, Gibson Gesore. What does this point to when it comes to the relationship between the President-elect and his deputy?
Thank you so much, Regina, and thank you for inviting me on this particular day. It's a very special day for Kenyans, and people are looking forward. It's a feeling of hope. There's a sense of freedom, as the Deputy President-elect is actually trying to put it, that for him it's freedom. For him it's freedom, and the question you've asked, Regina, in regards to the relationship between the President and the Deputy President, speaks to what Rigathi Gachagua has just spoken about, the aspect of intimidation, the aspect of arbitrary arrest, the aspect of people suffering.
Wakili, we are seeing on screen there dignitaries have begun a grade, as well as members of parliament. Let's have a listen in.
Mizigi, Women Rep Taita Taveta. I am so happy today, very, very happy. And the reason why I am so happy is that today marks a very good story, a story of hope in this country called Kenya. To many people, many village boys and girls out there, that today in this country called Kenya, when you work hard, you can become anybody you want to be in this country. You can even become the president. So I'm very happy because it gives hope to so many people out there. And again, I want to say from today, as Kenyans, tutaenda kujivunia kwa Wakenya, si kuvumilia, because hata yule mtu wa chini sasa ataenda kuheshimika, because that has been the hustler. That is what the hustler stands for. Mama mboga, boda boda, and we say kazi ni kazi na kila mtu aheshimiwe. So Kenyans, today is our day. Asante sana.
Please give me your contacts. Now I know you.
Well, that is just, a women rep tighter there giving us a feed. They have arrived early. Remember, as per the communication is that people need to be seated by 10 a.m. But the rest of the members of public have been there from as early as 2 a.m. The Kasarani Stadium the terraces actually are full to capacity. Provision has been made for 20,000 Kenyans there. Now let's have a listen in to Miriam Kitani, who's addressing our report on ground.
Expectations. It's a journey. Tell me about it.
This journey has been long. The journey, I think, started a long time ago because Kenyans have really yearned for this day. As you can see, the stadium is full. Everyone has so much expectations. Everyone wants everything for themselves. And I think we're going to deliver. Our president-elect, who is going to be the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya today, is a workaholic. We saw it in 2013 when he was the deputy president. Now imagine that he has a sword. Kenyans can only expect better and better lives. Yes. Thank you so much.
You want to say something? Which? Yeah, KBC. Yes.
Okay. I'm Honorable Dorothy Kiara, a nominated MP, and I'm very, very excited today to see the way Kenyans have turned in large numbers to come and witness the swearing of our president. The journey has started. I'm sure all the promises that His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in due course, all of them will be fulfilled. We are so happy, we are excited as members of parliament, and I'm sure this is a new dawn for Kenyans. Thank you so much.
Yes, members of public as well as leaders continue to throng the Kasarani Stadium. Earlier there, that was just Dorothy Ikiara addressing KBC that is already on ground. We have been on ground from as early as 4 a.m. And earlier was Aldai, Member of Parliament Mary Kitani, saying that indeed this is a making of history. And looking at how the elections went in the last, actually the August polls there, we have more women elected to elective seats, both at the National Assembly as well as quite a significant number of governors there, an improvement, making it a total of 7 there, as well as senators. So women indeed, as we say, it is a patriarchal society, but the future is indeed female. Mr. Gesore, I just interrupted you when you were giving us your thoughts in regard to the relationship between President-elect and his deputy, given the conversation that you've just had. We've had from his current residence there, alluding to that freedom has come, that he's more calm, he's ready to serve Kenyans.
Yes, indeed, he has said as much that he's ready to serve Kenyans. I think for him, most important from what he has said is the aspect that for him it's the freedom and the sense of hope for a better Kenya. He has said, he has alluded to some things that they want to do for Kenya. And he said they have a plan between him and the president-elect. They have a plan to help Kenyans out of the intimidation. They want to see less and less government in Kenyans' faces or in Kenyan homes. And there is more to the fact that they want money in people's pockets, and that is very important. You realize, Regina, for the recent past, people have been crying. There is no money in the people's pockets, and people are unable to pay their bills. People are unable to actually fuel. The cost of living has skyrocketed, and those are, I think, some of the things which he has alluded that he is going to do with him and the president. The relationship between those two is very cordial. They share some commonalities in terms of upbringing, as he has alluded to, that he grew up in a grass-thatched house. He had chiggers on his legs and all that. To grow to be the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, which gives hope to every young Kenyan who is wherever he is, wherever situation he is in. He should be able to rise to whatever he wants to be, the same as to the President-elect, who also has spoken as much that he grew up as in a very challenging neighborhood. We have the stories of him selling chicken, the stage, and those are very humble circumstances which have given rise or have born to great leaders whom we have today. We are hoping that in every sense they will be able to reflect back and be able to put policies in place which are going to help the very common people who are sharing the kind of lifestyle they enjoyed while they were young, so that no single Kenyan should be able to lose hope, because hope is the last thing somebody should be able to lose. And then, of course, there is the aspect of the freedom that government should let people do their own business and enable them to have money so that they can be able to achieve their dreams and hopes as they have for themselves. So I think that should be very paramount. That should be understood across the country, because that is the only way you can be able to raise a generation of people who are proud and patriotic and know that they're living in their own country, not they're living a borrowed life.
All right, let's have a listen in to what is happening in Kasarani. Good morning, Chuma.
Dr. William Samoei Ruto and His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua on this very special occasion. I want to congratulate you, and I pray for you that God's grace will be sufficient for you as you take up the mantle to lead the nation of Kenya. It's one day of a kind, and my word to you today is that the reward for good work is more work. So there is more work that is beginning today for you on your desk, and I know that the Kenya Kwanza government under your leadership will be able to deliver the promise that they have given to the Kenyans. So today is just a day to thank God. I see it more as a Thanksgiving service to say, God, we are grateful that our nation is peaceful, that our nation has moved to the next level. It's the dawn of a new day in Kenya, and I'm looking forward to a very great day when the covenants that God has over Kenya will come to reality. So I'm truly looking forward. We have many guests from all over, international presidents. We have guests who are from the region, guests who are from Kenya itself, and we are truly looking forward to a very joyous celebration and a day to actually pray for Kenya that the next 5 years will be years of prosperity, years of economic growth, years of everybody becoming somebody in Kenya. So I'm really looking forward. And I want to say, for those who can make it to Kasarani, because the cards may not have been enough or the space may not have been enough, please bear with us, bear with the Kenya Kwanza government, bear with the UDA party. We will find a chance for you to be able to meet your president in days to come and not too long a wait. So please bear with us, and any inconvenience is regretted. Thank you.
Before I let you go, tell us your expectations after this event. What next for us?
Our expectation is to see the new cabinet coming in. We are looking up to see the lineup of the cabinet, because work begins soon after the swearing in of our president and the president-elect. So my expectation is that we will quickly settle down as a nation and we get to work, and everybody gets to push their hustle in a more enabling environment, an environment that will enable trade, robust trade, economic growth, great interaction with the region and with the nations around the nation of Kenya. So we are looking forward to growth, more opportunities for young people, inclusion for women. We are looking forward to women being part of the government. You remember our president promised that he would give 50% of the cabinet to women. So we are looking forward to more inclusion for women, and we are also looking forward to compliances when it comes to gender, in terms of a rollout of 2/3 gender gender role in Kenya.
And today we are expecting so many other leaders to come. What will be the highlight of this event, especially from Kenya Kwanza team? Remember, this is the time that we are going through hard economic times. Yes. And President-elect, going to be the president today, said that he will address the issue of cost of food. But what is other highlight that you think he will consider in his main speech?
I do not want to pull the carpet from below his feet. I think we should anticipate and wait for his speech. It's coming. It's just a few minutes. So let's look forward, but it will be the manifesto, the plan that will be rolled out for Kenya. So we are looking forward for that. So let's wait for that speech. It's coming. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Now that has been Secretary General UDA there as well, that very Kamaina nominated center. Now let's head to the Deputy President's current residence where we're having his wife, Bishop Dorcas there, getting spruced up ahead of the ceremony.
But of course for her, as you can see, she's having her makeup done, and just maybe we can have a few questions, just 1 or 2 questions for her. Thank you so much. And what are your expectations today? It appears to be quite a big day, and actually your husband earlier on said that this is his biggest day in his entire public life. What about you? Is it your biggest day ever?
I think it is one of the greatest days. And I really thank God because maybe it is not anything that you had planned. You have a huge task ahead. There is expectation from everyone, and they want their lives to change. And to me, I think I feel that we need to rethink and go and work very hard, because the expectation, the vibration in the air, it is full of expectation. It's pregnant, and I think we are, God willing and God helping us, we are going to midwife a new Kenya. Yeah.
Beautiful. First of all, you look very, very beautiful. And if I may pick up from where my colleague has left off, maybe you can share with us the kind of feeling you have as the wife to Rigathi, the deputy-elect. How are you feeling this morning?
I feel excited, and I think I have a good husband. And the way he has worked for the 4 years, day and night, and I am excited also for him, and to see that whatever he has been working for is just about to happen. I'm really excited for him and for myself and for the family and the family of Kenya. Yeah.
From the background, we can hear songs, and just how crucial has religion and God and church has been actually in your campaigns and in actually now occupying the second most important and most powerful position in the country.
I'm a Christian and I'm a ordained pastor, so it's not about religion. The religion is something else, but Christianity is a lifestyle. So God is the center of everything, and you can see without God, how could this have happened? When you get Lazarus getting into the highest office of the land, it can only take the hand of God, and that's why we've been going round. And we also know that, without God in Kenya, you get chaos, you don't have peace, you don't have unity. But when people are united by the Creator God, you find that people love one another, people are in harmony with one another, people have unity, and that is why we love God, and we know this time it has been about God, and it continue to be about God.
Well, it has been a journey. What can you tell Kenyans out there who are waiting for you? 60,000 Kenyans are at Kasarani Stadium waiting for you guys to arrive as we swear in the President Ruto.
As a mother and as a pastor, I love you all. And it is so great to see you, and your expectations definitely will not be cut short. We have a God who has been working, and he's working now, and as he gives us the strength, we promise that we are going to work for you, because you have given us this job, and we really are humbled to you all Kenyans by how you have come out. You are there at 3-4 a.m. May God really tremendously bless you. We will serve you as God enables us.
Thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that has been the wife of Rigathi Gachagua speaking to us about how she's feeling this morning as she prepares to face the day ahead of her. I'm so sure she's looking forward to go to the Thanksgiving ceremony that is underway right now. She's just doing the final touches and then she heads out there as they get ready now to head to Kasarani Stadium. Back to you in studio.
Now, Troy, you saw that beautiful smile. You saw, Deputy President-elect's wife, that is Pastor Dorcas, saying that as a mother and as a pastor, God has to be at the center. And I like that from a journalist point of view, that they have been very welcoming to the media to just follow up their preparations ahead of the swearing-in ceremony. And I hope this is something that we are going to see in their tenure, that, the top two will not be inaccessible to the media, that doors will be open for us to ask questions. And as a role, the media plays Troy there. But I want to challenge you, Troy. Mm-hmm. There's something that the Deputy President-elect actually said, that his day starts out with a workout. I just want to know, does yours start with a workout, Troy?
Bearing in mind I have a very rich sports background, I really do a lot of exercises. But away from that, it's a good thing that you saw even the DP talked about being quite fit. You saw him when he was the deputy president. Sometimes he was running, just to show how indeed he is athletic, and he will really need that, because now he has been elevated to the topmost position in the land. And something else that his wife is also going to be on Kenya's eyes now. The good bishop will be on Kenya's eyes and lips. And now she has to transit from her work to indeed being the wife of the second in command, which comes with a lot of responsibilities. We have seen Dr. Ruto's wife actually in so many functions here and there. We saw Margaret Kenyatta as well in so many projects, including Beyond Zero. So they have to change their lives as soon as their husbands take the oath of office today. And talking about taking, we had talked about something, is that Kenyans, you can see Kenyans from all walks of life, from all the 47 counties, and we were talking about 2.5 trillion has been able to be narrowed down to counties. That is something that the devolution has quite brought in. And this is a second regime after we promulgated the 2010 constitution, 2.5 trillion. And okay, hold the thought. Let's first of all cross over to Kasarani and listen in.
Many hours of hard work, and today we're finally here to celebrate the culmination of the achievement of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. We, the people of Nairobi, are extremely happy that we are hosting this historic event in this city, and I would welcome everybody to come in and join with us so that we can look forward to the building of a prosperous nation.
There are so many challenges we're facing as city residents. What next for us after this, after the taking of oath by the president-elect and his deputy?
I think we expect very, very dynamic leadership. Our leader has shown us, he has been very, very consistent. He has told us the things that we need to follow through in terms of what we are doing within the city ourselves. We are also working on that same program, and we want to make sure that we support him to be successful, to achieve the programs, the bottom-up policies, the issue of uplifting those at the bottom, the issue of supporting businesses, the issue of developing infrastructure, the issue of developing education, ensuring that we do things like school feeding in Nairobi and across the country. There are many things that we have put in our manifesto, and it's also in the national manifesto, and I know the president is going to lead us in that journey.
We have seen so many hustlers, those people who are living below $1 per day. They have turned up here as early as 5 a.m. What would you encourage them now?
This is a day of hope. It's a day of anticipation. It's a day of a new beginning. And I believe that the things that we are going to do and the things we are going to achieve with the new government will help them directly achieve better lives, better days for their children, better days for their families. And that's what we would like to do in this country. That's what we would like to encourage everybody to do, to work hard. So when people wake up early to come and celebrate this, I think it's an indication of the hope and aspirations of a huge number of our citizens, and that's what we encourage them to do every single day as they go around looking for food and whatever else for their families.
Your parting words before I let you go?
I think it's a brilliant day. Let every Kenyan enjoy this, celebrate to the fullest, because today we begin a new era.
Thank you, sir. Good day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed, that is Irene Mchuma Odim was sampling some of the responses by the leaders who are now streaming in. And from that camera angle, we can tell you that some dignitaries are already arriving. Remember, the 60,000 capacity stadium is full to the brim. We cannot authoritatively say exactly who those dignitaries are, but it's a good thing that Kenyans are seated, and it's a minute to 8, and we have seen even dignitaries already arriving. Earlier on, UDA Secretary General there talked about they are being rewarded for good work that they did, and especially when you talk about the DP, and now they're being rewarded with more work. And when it comes to devolution,
well, as I was saying earlier, is that 2.5 trillion has been devolved to counties over the last say 9.5 years. What for me I'm looking forward is that how can we now see the benefits of this kind of money that has been invested in the counties, and do we need to change the structure of the kind of investment we've done? We've realized some of the counties that are governors are inheriting governments where 50% of what they were getting went to recurrent expenditure. So we need to reorganize the structure of those economies so that more money can go to development, and the development can be able to start bringing the returns that we expect. Counties are economies by themselves. For example, in Nakuru, where I come from, is that 6% of the national economy comes from Nakuru. 26% of the national economy comes from Nairobi. We need to see the structure of the whole economy in the country changing, rather than having 5 counties contributing to over 50% of the economy. We want to see more and more counties growing so that their revenue and their contribution to the national GDP can also increase, so that the burden that we have on these 5 counties, which is Nakuru, Kiambu, Nairobi, Mombasa and Meru, can be lessened. We want to see counties like Turkana, Nyandarua, Nyeri, Laikipia doing more to the national outlook of the economy. And that I mean that I'm looking forward where now some of the manifesto and economic plans that Ruto's administration will have will require that investments are done in those counties, so that those counties' economy can also be able to grow and contribute bigger in the economy. So it's good that Uhuru took the bold step of devolving governments immediately took over, but now we need now that the devolved governments are already there, what do we need to do to make them better? One of the areas that we have always had a concern is that the amount of money being devolved is not enough. That is one. But also the own source revenues in those counties, are they collecting enough? Are they using the one that they collect effectively? Are they making sure that there are no leakages in terms of the collection? Are they making sure that we don't have the cases that we are seeing in Kisii, where we have ghost workers, people who are employed, they don't qualify for those jobs, they are not being productive, or they are even not there, people being assigned to be drivers and there are no cars to drive? The kind of wastage we are seeing is shocking. Okay. So we need to be able to address those issues.
Let's first of all listen in. This is Kasarani MP.
Okay, today it's a very nice day. Swearing in of a new president, very high expectations throughout the country. I think he's inheriting a very crazy situation in terms of the finances of the treasury. So I think the first 6 months might be very tough, but it's the hope of all Kenyans that after that things will get better.
And what do you expect after this ceremony?
You see, the hope of all Kenyans, people have been hungry. People don't have money in their pockets. I think the hope of all Kenyans is that there's change that comes with the new presidency. I think from the president's speech, there's a lot of things that will come out, and I'm hoping that the hope that people have with the new president, he will actually fulfill those promises, because people have been suffering. We've had a government that has not been respecting court orders. we've had a government that has really impoverished the people of Kenya. So I'm hoping in the next few years, I know it will take time, hopefully in the next 2-3 years, everything will have changed and people will have money in their pockets. We won't have cases of people going hungry, people not going to school, and that's the change I hope that will come with the new presidency.
You're representing the people of Kasarani.
Yes.
What do you think will be first of the things for you to address as you're taking office now?
We do have a lot of problems in Kasarani, and most of them are basic needs. People are hungry. We don't have basic infrastructure, especially like in the wards of Njiru and Ruai. Water is a problem. It doesn't reach all the communities and all the families in my constituency. So I'm hoping with the help and in partnership with the national government, we'll be able to achieve all those objectives so that at least from a starting point, people live a dignified life. Then after that, we can bring infrastructure to the community.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Kasarani MP Captain Ronald Karauri, and something interesting he has talked about there is that for the next 6 months things are going to be quite tough for the new government. But something else, talking of tough, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the diaspora came in handy for Kenyans. And there's something that President Uhuru Kenyatta mentioned yesterday, that we are now doing around 400 billion diaspora remittances. And there's something interesting that the president-elect also said in regards to the diaspora. He said that he is going to make a ministry dedicated for the diaspora because it's somewhere that we cannot ignore. Bringing in 400 billion every year?
I think it is being very real. When I could see the member of parliament was just spoken from Mbagasi that things are very tough, and that's actually the true position. And why we talk about the diaspora, I think this is a more informed, a more capable or able society. And if they can really be able to pump in such amount of resources to Kenya, I think that will give us a helping hand. It will also, revitalize the kind of the trade or other investments that we have in this country. But however, we need not to forget that Kenyans who are now, facing the true economic situation, I think they themselves they must rise up and pull up their sleeves and then they move on. There is nothing going to be easy, my brother. The Kenyans must, the expectations that we are banging so much on the new leadership, it depends entirely on us Kenyans, ourselves, because the resources that this government expect to use will definitely come from the same Kenyans that we are talking about. You talk about, my brother Engineer Sakeli said that the county governments, the 2.5%, or the 25%, that they are actually getting, those are actually, it is not small money. If they are able to make use of that money prudently, I believe they can also be able to come up with the investments that will really help the national government in opening up new ventures of economic opportunities. And they also need to make their own resources. That is actually very, very important, because an average of about 4 billion is bumped into the county governments every year. But that money is too small as compared to the problems that we are encountering in the local. So they need to really come up with a lot of income generating activities to be able to make their own, to build their own revenue base at the county level. I was listening to the speech of, the talk of His Excellency, the Deputy President-elect, and he has a lot of energy and a lot of hope that they are going to revitalize the economy of this country to the level that Kenyans will really put the money into their pockets. And looking by him, I think the kind of, the leadership that they are coming now are coming from a background who are actually, I can say they will be the best role models for Kenyans, because they have just come from a background that is resembling the majority of Kenyans. However, there is something that I also noted from the deputy-elect, that he still thinks that the past has been very punitive. And he's grown up with a lot of oppressive system. And I'm also thankful that she has a prayerful wife who believes in forgiveness, who believes in having or bringing Kenyans together. Because when I looked at her talk and when I listened to her talk, it is actually, she's sending an olive branch to Kenyans that, yes, you brought us to this level, this is a level of responsibility that we must devote our time. And we must also, not necessarily delivering, delivering our services to Kenyans, but we are also bringing to be, a one united Kenya so that we can move way forward. And I look forward to seeing the president-elect and the deputy president-elect also really coming up in a very strong way to bring unity among all Kenyans. And they must also be ready to forgive. We have over 6.9 million Kenyans who never voted for the president, elect, and that is a big number. So, as leaders now, we need to forget the past. We need to forget our political differences. We need to forget our former oppressive system and emulate that kind of togetherness. Let us bring on board everybody so that we can build a Kenya that we shall all embrace as our country.
And still on the same, based on what the captain has talked about, the Kasarani MP, in terms of managing our expectations, indeed we do want to put a lot of faith in the new government, but as I said, like 6 months, Kenyans should be waiting to see what exactly will transpire. And the president-elect talked about, not about increasing taxes, but he wants to increase the tax bracket.
Yeah. It's good that you've interviewed Captain Karuri. If you look at the numbers, SportsPesa, the company that this man was running during the pandemic period, they were turning in the 200 billion in terms of money that was being transacted by SportsPesa. Their profit margins were quite huge. But that showed that the kind of money that is not being directed to the right use. So if we can be able to mop up all this cash that is scattered all over, we can be able to use that money and direct it to investment that can be able to generate, bringing in $4 billion a year into the country. Most of it may not be able to be seen in terms of direct investment in the country because it comes through families, it comes through addressing issues of healthcare, in maybe attending to burials and all those kind of things that, social issues. But if we are able to direct this money to safe economic instruments of investment, these people can be able to be guaranteed some return. So that, for example, you can have a diaspora bond where they can put their money together and build their own express highway, the one we have seen here, which has costed the contractor around 60 billion Kenya shillings, that we as a country, over the next 30 years, we may have to pay 10 times of that. So if this money was put together by the diaspora community, and they said, for example, the Rironi to Mau Summit Road, which is costing $2 billion, it is our investment as the diaspora community, and it's put in a proper investment instrument, and a contractor is brought on board and does the road, and the returns are paid back to the diaspora community. This will be safe investment opportunity for these people working outside there, because they are working so hard, they are making money, but when this money comes here, it does not bring the returns they desire. So it's good that we have a ministry that is dedicated to the diaspora, and we come up with the safe economic instruments that these people can be able to use to make investments in Kenya. But I also want to touch on what my colleague has talked about, the issue of vengeance and forgiveness. We are calling upon the deputy president who will be sworn in today to forget about the issues that went in the last 5 or 10 years. Those people who did that, probably they were serving the government of the day. And there are also people who will come and serve the government, his government, and they'll also go to certain extremes. The only things maybe we may need to not forgive is the issue of economic crimes. If there are any issues of corruption, we want them prosecuted, investigated properly, but other issues, let us forgive.
Kasarani engineer, just to have a listen in. That is Esther Koimet.
Up to the standard that they are required to be. And we're looking forward to a very, very beautiful celebration of our inauguration of our fifth president. Yes.
You're a principal secretary in this government, obviously, and having been in government for the years that you've been in, what is your expectation, obviously, as a senior government official and as a Kenyan also?
The expectation is that we will have, wonderful celebrations, that the new government will obviously get into office and be able to take our country forward. In terms of the manifesto, we've seen their manifesto, and we know that if that manifesto is delivered, then Kenya will move forward.
All right. Good luck for you.
Thank you.
All right. Waziri Kandia, do you want to speak to us? Karibu sana. The former Minister for East African Cooperation, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
We've not seen you in a long time.
Yes, I have been serving the country elsewhere,
all right.
But now I'm back. So, yes, this is really a big day for all of us.
How do you feel about today?
I think it's a wonderful day for Kenyans. It's been a very difficult journey, and but at the end of the day, I think all Kenyans won because we saw democracy really at play, and. So today it's the inauguration of His Excellency William Ruto, and the Kenyans have chosen him, and it was confirmed by the Supreme Court. So it's really a great day for Kenyans because we just saw, like I said, democracy at play. So we're looking forward to his tenure, and I think he's ready to actually take up the mantle as the president of the country. So thank you. I really want to wish him all the very best.
Asante sana.
And wish him well.
Thank you very much. Waziri Phyllis Kandia speaking to us this morning from the Kasarani Stadium. This is the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani.
Indeed, that is John Jacob Kiria just bringing us to speed as Kenyans continue thronging the Kasarani Stadium. Now we want to take you over to Bungoma, where we have a reporter, Wycliffe Okech, to bring us up to speed with what is happening down in Bungoma. To you, Wycliffe, good morning.
Coming to you live from Bungoma County specifically. This is a shopping center here.
Tutabaki kama tumesimama, tunyamaze kimya wakati kama huu ambapo mkuu wa gwaride atakuwa anakuja kumpa heshima Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ruhusa ya kuweza kulikagua gwaride la siku ya leo. Asanteni, kwa heshima tunaweza kuketi tafadhali. Basi hivi sasa anayemwakilisha Mheshimiwa Rais ni kamanda wa brigedi ya 6, na hivi ndivyo mambo yatakavyokuwa punde tu Mheshimiwa Rais atakapowasili mahali hapa. Kipindi kama hiki, wananchi tunawaomba kwa heshima tuweze kuwa watulivu wakati Mheshimiwa Rais atakuwa anakagua gwaride letu la heshima siku ya leo. Na vile vile ningependa kuwakumbusha wote ambao wako kwenye jukwaa rasmi na hawahusiki na mpangilio wa itifaki, tafadhali kwa heshima tunawaomba waweze kuondoka ili maafisa wetu wa itifaki wanaoendesha shughuli ya kupanga sehemu hiyo wasipate wakati mgumu. Kama kawaida, bendera ya kikosi sharti kuweza kupewa heshima kama mnavyoshuhudia, mabibi na mabwana. Vilevile tungependa kuwakumbusha kwamba wakati wowote unapokutana na bendera ya kikosi, unaombwa kwa heshima kuweza kuipea heshima kama inavyostahili. Iwapo utakuwa umevalia sare rasmi za serikali, basi unaombwa kuweza kuipigia saluti bendera hii iliyo fahari ya kikosi, na iwapo utakuwa umevalia kofia isiyo rasmi, kwa heshima siku zote unaombwa kuweza kutoa kofia na kuipisha bendera hii. Basi Mheshimiwa Rais atakapofika mwisho wa gwaride letu la heshima, tutawaomba wananchi kuweza kuwa watulivu wakati ambapo mkuu wa gwaride atakuwa anamuomba kwa heshima Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ruhusa ya kuweza kuendelea na gwaride punde tu Mheshimiwa Rais atakapochukua nafasi yake kwenye jukwaa rasmi. Samoei Ruto, na baada ya kipindi hicho tutaendelea na ratiba ambapo tutapata burudani spesheli lililoandaliwa waweze kucheza wimbo unaofahamika kama Usiniache. Bendi, tafadhali. Asante, asante bendi, asante bendi, asanteni. Asanteni sana bendi zetu za majeshi ya ulinzi ya Kenya. tutulie tafadhali. Wananchi tutulie tafadhali. Wananchi tutulie tafadhali.
Wananchi wazalendo tafadhali tuweze kutulia. Wananchi tutulie tafadhali. Tuweze kutulia wananchi.
Basi kama ilivyo desturi zetu za kijeshi, bendera ya kikosi sharti kuweza kuwa chini ya ulinzi mkali, na wakati wa gwaride bendera hii sharti kuweza kuwa mbele ya gwaride kama mnavyoshuhudia mabibi na mabwana. Tungependa tu kuwasihi ya kwamba iwapo bendera hii ya kikosi itapita mbele yako, basi kwa heshima unaomba kuweza kusimama ili kuweza kuipea heshima kama inavyostahili. wale wanatengeneza sauti itakayotolewa na Mheshimiwa Rais dakika moja. Tuko naye pia special representative of the government of China. Ameungana nasi pia the Assistant Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Tuko naye pia Mr. Paulus Mabatas, Vice Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Netherlands. Tuko naye Chairman of the African Union Commission. Tuko naye Secretary General wa COMESA. Tuko naye mwenzetu Honorable Dr. Musa Malumi ambaye ni katibu mkuu wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Tuko naye the Executive Director of International Conference on Great Lakes Region. Tuko naye pia Secretary General wa IGAD. Tumkaribishe pia the Executive Director of Eastern Africa Constituency African Development Bank. Pia tunao mawaziri akiwemo Minister of Foreign Affairs Gambia, Minister of State United Arab Emirates, Minister of State for Development United Kingdom, Minister of State for External Affairs India, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Qatar, Minister of State Republic of Botswana. We also have Mr. Nasser Bourita, Minister of Foreign Affairs Kingdom of Morocco. Tunaye pia Rais mstaafu former President of Germany. Tuko nao pia Speaker wa National Assembly, Speaker of the People's National Assembly of Bulgaria. We have also the President of the National Assembly of the Congolese Republic. Baadaye wananchi itaweza kuwatambua Vice President, Deputy President na President ambao tuko nao siku ya leo. Niombe kwa heshima wananchi wenzangu. Sote tuifanye siku ya kwanza. Niombe jambo la pili, wakati wa wimbo wa taifa, nitaomba sote wa Kenya kwa sauti tuimbe pamoja wimbo wa taifa wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, tukiongozwa na bendi na kwaya. Kila mmoja wetu uwanjani, iwe ni siku tunaimba kwa pamoja wimbo wetu wa taifa. Niombe ya mwisho, walinde itakapoingia uwanjani. Ni vyema parade commander aweze kusikika. Kwa hivyo tunaposherehekea, tusherehekee, lakini tumpe pia nafasi aweze kusikia yale yanaendelea uwanjani. Asante wananchi, na tuendelee kuwakaribisha 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said this butter is bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter.
I am standing by to do the rehearsal. Standing by.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Introduce yourself.
All right. Yes. Okay. Body language to turn. Yes. Yeah. Am I here? Me, I'm here. Yes. Okay. So it's like the two of you are having a conversation. Okay. Check your mic.
Kenyans have come out in their numbers. From 3 a.m. the stadium was already coming up packed, and by 5 a.m. I think the place was jam-packed. The people outside even more than the people inside, and the atmosphere is electric. And we are so happy to see this day. The weather is favorable, and I hope you're catching us loud and clear wherever you are. So welcome to the live presentation today. Welcome to the live coverage of this session, and I hope and pray that at the end of this, every Kenyan will feel included and a part of what is going on. So over to you, studio.
Tizama kamera. Mimi naitwa Joseph Osoro, ni mwanabiashara katika hii town ya Kilifi. Natarajia rais mteule. Zaidi ni wanabiashara wanaongojea ile ahadi aliyoiweka, na watu wengi wana imani kwamba atatekeleza yale anayeondoka kutekeleza. Kwa mtu huanzia badogo na anamalizia bakubwa. Kwa hivyo tuna uhakika, kwa sababu watu wote waliosimama hapa, Wakenya wengi ni wa hali ya chini, na yeye alianzia pale chini, na huyo mtu lazima atakumbuka wale watu wa chini na ataanza na wale watu wa chini. Na nina uhakika, kwanza niangalie maslahi ya wananchi wa Kenya kwanza, wale wa chini. Tena tuondolee hii kitu inaitwa CPC, kwa sababu mtoto anatumwa mkate maamri apeleke shuleni.
Naam, lakini tuangazie kwamba CBC ni mfumo uko umeletwa ili kuweza kurahisisha wakati wanafunzi wanatoka shuleni wao wanaweza kujitegemea. Lakini katika masuala mazima ya masuala ya miundombinu na uongozi, masuala ya biashara, mnatarajia nini kama watu wa Kilifi ili maisha yaweze kuimarika?
Kwanza kitu kikubwa ni miundo msingi. Kidogo anaondoka amejaribu kufanya. Tuhitaji Rais Ruto anapoingia kwanza aangalie huko kwenye vijijini, maana kunahitajika maji kama Bamba, Ganze, Jira, kunahitajika maji. Kitu ya kwanza kunahitajika ukulima, na yeye tuna uhakika yeye kasi yake kubwa ameifanya kwa waziri wa kilimo, alifanya mambo makubwa. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia katika Kilifi County yetu kwanza aangalie mambo ya kilimo, watu wapate maji, hospitali zetu ziwe na madawa. Tunahitaji mambo yale ambayo ni muhimu kuliko yale madogo madogo yale tunafanyiwa. Hatuhitaji mtu aje kufanya vitu vikubwa ambavyo avisaidie ule mwananchi wa kawaida. So tuhitaji hizo barabara zijengwe, tuhitaji vitu sote sifanyike kwa sawa.
Naam, shukrani sana. Pia nitakuwa naweza kupata maoni pia ya baadhi pia wakazi kutoka katika kaunti ya Kilifi. Kaka karibu. Ni kwamba kidogo wanaona haya kwa kamera, lakini pia kuna kaka hapa. Baba, tueleze unaitwa nani na matarajio yako ni gani sasa serikali ya awamu ya 5 inapoingia? Utakuwa unatazama kamera.
Mimi naitwa John Kaindi. Angalia kamera. What I want is peace in this country. Peace is very important. The election has gone and the politics will continue, but we need peace politics. Those who win, those who lose, they should maintain peace. Because now we wait for what will happen, and what we need is a president to serve all people in this country. And that is very important. And I think what we can say for the incoming president is to make sure peace is there and intimidation should not be there. Because if he can pull out his arms to intimidate us, we not live the free, fair, how we have been living. And this, the speculation which has been going on, and we don't need to see it anymore.
Okay, so tunatarajia kwamba Kenya iweze kusonga mbele, wananchi wote wakae kwa amani, na kwamba walioshinda na walioshindwa waweze kuwa kitu kimoja, na makubwa zaidi, wewe kama mkazi wa Kilifi unatarajia nini?
Mimi kitu natarajia, my president is Mungaro, my governor and the top government. But Mungaro should make sure that the problem we have in this Kilifi is losing maji every now and then. And some document which has been going on, some has stopped, some has going on. That's why Mungaro should pull up his socks to save us. But Kilifi we are really suffering.
Okay, sawa. Asante sana. Pia kuna kaka pia atakwenda tueleze tu majina yako, unaitwa nani, na labda leo ni kwamba serikali ya awamu ya 5 inaingia uongozini. Wewe kama mkazi wa kaunti ya Kilifi, Mkenya, tumepiga kura tumemaliza. Matarajio yako ni gani wakati serikali inapoingia?
Asante sana. Kwanza kabisa majina yangu ninaitwa Bernard Kai Nzaro. Ninatoa shukrani jambo la kwanza kwa Mungu kwa sababu ya ushindi wa Daktari William Samoei Ruto. Kitu cha kwanza yeye akiwa anaapishwa hii leo, baada ya kuweka chini Biblia, aangalie uongozi wake, uangalie uchumi ule ambao umedidimia hapa Kenya. Kwa sababu Kenya wengi ni mahustlers. Ile bottom up, ile style ambayo alikuwa anaongea itakuwa njema kabisa akiwa itatekeleza. Kwa sababu wengi ni walala hoi. Biashara ziimarike, biashara ziinuke, watu wa pikipiki, mama mboga kama alivyokuwa anasema, wazee. Hiyo ndio itakuwa kitu cha kwanza kabisa hii Kenya kusimama na kuimarika, kwa sababu uchumi umezorora kabisa. Nachukua fursa hii ya kusema kwamba hata ingawaje nchi imepitia hali ngumu ya kiuchumi wakati huu, lakini nina imani ya kwamba huyu rais mpya ambaye kwamba anachukua uongozi leo hatamu, naamini kwamba mambo yatabadilika, na ninaomba Mungu ya kwamba amsaidie, amtie nguvu, aweze kuongoza kwa hekima, wale ambao walikuwa upande wake, wale ambao hawakuwa upande wake, sote tumekuwa watoto wa moja wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo tutapata equal rights na tuhudumiwe sawasawa kabisa. Mahospitali, miundombinu itekelezwe sawasawa. Hiyo ndio furaha ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Kwa hilo Mungu akusaidie sana rais mpya, na Mungu ambariki zaidi na zaidi. Kila eneo la nchi hii tuone uongozi mzuri kabisa, ili na sisi tuseme tunafurahi.
Na shukrani sana pia vile ningeweza kupata kiongozi wa bodaboda hapa aweze kuzungumza ama kijana ambaye anaweza kusimamia wengine wa bodaboda. Kaka, karibu uweze kutueleza tu labda matarajio yenu ni gani wakati huu tunapoingia katika serikali ya awamu ya 5? Wewe kama kijana ambaye unaangazia vijana wako hapa na pia vile waendeshaji bodaboda ambao wengi ni vijana, labda mnatarajia nini na matumaini yenu ni gani hasa katika wakati huu tunapoingia katika serikali ya awamu ya 5 kama kijana?
Kwanza kwa majina yangu kamili naitwa Atibu Ahmadi. Mimi pia ni mwana bodaboda, nilifanya kazi ya bodaboda. Kitu ambacho tutarajia kutoka kwa president wetu ambaye kwamba tulimchagua Dr. William Samoei Ruto ni kuwa aangazie sana swala la upande wa mafuta, maana kama mabodaboda tuumia sana upande wa mafuta. Unaweza ona kwamba mwanabodaboda ametia mafuta, lakini ukiangalia ile pesa anayopata kupitia yale mafuta aliyoweka ni kidogo, kwa sababu ile pesa anayotumia kuweka mafuta ni nyingi kuliko ile pesa ambayo yapata kupitia ile biashara yake ya bodaboda. Hilo ndo swala zima ambalo tunataka Dr. William Samoei Ruto ambaye ni rais wetu ambaye anaenda kuapishwa siku ya leo aliangazie sana ili swala la mafuta kuwa iende kushukishwa mafuta ili tuweze kupata na sisi kitu kidogo kupitia hizi biashara zetu za bodaboda. Kama venye ulikuwa wakisema bodaboda mama mboga, sasa ili bodaboda tuione kweli sasa akitekeleza katika hii serikali yake ya awamu ya 5 kama rais wa hii taifa letu la Kenya.
Naam, shukrani sana. Bila shaka ni maoni yao hapa wakazi katika kaunti ya Kilifi, nikiwa katika eneo la Kibaoni. Wamezungumzia masuala mengi muhimu, masuala ambayo wakiweza kumtaka rais anaingia katika awamu hii ya 5 Daktari William Ruto kuweza kuiangazia. Wameelezea masuala ya miundombinu, miundo msingi, wakitaka pia hospitali ziweze kupata dawa ili vile vile wakati watu wanaweza kutafuta yale matibabu waweze kuwa na ule urahisi na kuweza kuona angalau haki yao ya kikatiba kuweza kupata huduma bora inaweza kutekelezwa. Pia vile vile wameangazia masuala ya hali ya kawaida ya mwananchi ili kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba hali yake kimaisha imeweza kuinuliwa. Pia vile vile masuala ya biashara, wakitaka biashara ziweze kuangaziwa. Tukiangazia kaunti ya Kilifi ni mojawapo ya kaunti kubwa ambazo zimejikita katika eneo zima la Pwani, na hapa katika kaunti ya Kilifi mengi ama hali ya kiuchumi ni kwamba kuna uvuvi na pia vile vile kuna masuala ya ukulima na rasilimali nyingi katika kaunti ya Kilifi, na pia vile vile ni mojawapo ya zile kaunti ambazo zinasifika sana katika masuala ya utalii, zikiwa na fuo za bahari zenye kupendeza na hoteli hoteli za nyota 5 wanavyosema katika lugha ya Kiingereza, hoteli ambazo zinakubalika katika rubaa za kimataifa. Kwa hivyo masuala mengi hapa wakitaka hasa pia vile vile masuala ya ajira kuweza kuangaziwa, vijana kuweza kupata ajira. Kwa hivyo ni mengi tu ambao wameweza kumwelezea rais mteule marais anaingia kwa sasa Daktari William Ruto ili kuweza kuyatekeleza. Kwa hivyo tumekita kambi katika kaunti ya Kilifi kukupasha tu jinsi hali ilivyo shamra wakati wanapojitayarisha kuweza kuona rais wa awamu ya 5 akiweza kuapishwa. Kwa hivyo tumekita kambi hapa na tutakuwa tunaweza kukufahamisha mengi zaidi wakati taarifa zinapoendelea kuchipuka. Mwenzangu Manyara kutoka kaunti ya Kilifi, Michael Mwandika, kazi kwako.
Shukran sana Michael Madinga kwa hayo. We'll continue keeping tabs on various parts of the country as Kenya puts another mark in history, and this is going to be happening at Kasarani. Now let's have a listen into what Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua has to say.
It's less and less government in their lives and more services to the people of Kenya.
Kenyans are they have quite high expectations, and maybe let me just ask this question. When the Deputy President, William Ruto, who is now President-elect, joined hands with President Uhuru Kenyatta, we saw quite a good relationship, and now you sound so confident about your working relationship with the President-elect, William Ruto. How sure are we, or what do you have to show that things are not going to go south like they did in the Jubilee government?
Myself and William Ruto have come a long way for the last 20 years. We are buddies and we are friends. One thing about William Ruto, he has no inferiority complex. he will not be bothered that I am a good worker, I'm a performer. He will be quite happy when I perform, so that I augment his work, I complement his efforts. So there is no way me and him can have a conflict, none whatsoever. The conflict between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta was brought about by inferiority complex, because the president had inferiority complex. He was unhappy that William Ruto is a performer, and therefore he wanted to cut him to size. It was unnecessary. I will be bringing energy to the presidency. I will be complimenting Dr. William Ruto. I will be supporting him. He's more than happy to have a good worker, somebody focused, somebody hardworking like himself, so that with the combined effort, because that is what this country needs. This country is in such a bad situation. It needs serious workers. You can't want a deputy who is just there, who is not a worker, who is not a performer. So I want to assure the people of Kenya that the issues we saw between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Dr. William Ruto will not be there. I want to say that with certainty. Me and him have sat and discussed. In any case, he has spelled out my duties quite clearly. And when he does the executive order, number 1, my duties will be clearly spelled. In fact, I'm complaining he has allocated me too much work. I'm already fretting, on the workload. He has confidence in me, and he's giving me serious responsibilities to be able to help him to govern this country and to turn around the economy. So I want to tell the people of Kenya to be assured that we'll have synergy, we'll work in a good partnership, and we complement each other. And mine is to support the president. Mine is to back him up. Mine is to make sure that the roles he assigned me are implemented with military precision. Mine is to make sure that the country is moving in the right direction. And mine is also to keep my ear to the ground, to listen to what people are saying and advise him appropriately. And luckily for Dr. William Ruto, he's a good listener, and he takes advice, with humility, and he doesn't take offense when we tell him this and this, what he's doing probably is not right, probably Kenyans are not happy. He takes it in good stride. So, and that is a mark of leadership, the ability to listen, agreeing to be advised, agreeing to be corrected, and agreeing to have a discussion with your juniors. When you respect your juniors and you treat them with respect and acknowledging that they also have some brains, then work becomes very easy. Dr. William Ruto has respect for the people under him. He has tremendous respect for all of us. Even young members of parliament, he gives them time and he listens to them. And many a time he has taken a position, and some junior members of parliament have advised him against it, and he has, with happiness and heartily agreed to the advice. So I am sure that we'll have a government that is full of consultation and consensus, and that is what will make us succeed, by consulting regularly, by agreeing to disagree, by having meetings and staying with our members of parliament, discussing with our governors, having many parliamentary groups meeting, and meetings allowing people to prevail and people to discuss freely, so that they can inform him and he can get better knowledge to assist him in decision making.
As the incoming deputy president, do you actually think maybe there should be a constitutional amendment just to make sure that the roles of the deputy president are constitutionally defined, such that we just don't leave it open to be like an assistant of the president? Do you think the roles should be constitutional?
Probably in future, but for now it's not necessary. My duties will be well spelled out in the executive circular, and me and William Ruto, we have agreed what I need to do. In fact, I am already feeling the heat of what he has allocated me. So for now, it's okay. But probably because of future, you may get another president like Uhuru Kenyatta, who has no regard for his deputy. Probably going forward, that is food for thought. It's something that our lawmakers need to look at, so that we don't have a situation like we had between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. But in our case, because of the kind of personalities that we are fine and we are okay. But for posterity, I think it's food for thought.
Maybe before I let you go to join your family in the Thanksgiving ceremony, we saw a letter released yesterday by the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga, saying that he will not be attending the inauguration ceremony of the 5th president and you as the deputy president for various reasons that he outlined. What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on that? And also, what do you have to tell Kenyans on this particular day, so that I can let you go?
I don't think Raila Odinga is one of our concerns. I mean, surely, be fair to us. We have a country to run. We have a 10 trillion public debt, 14 million Kenyans in CRB, 6 million unemployed people, imaginable, prices of food commodities. Where would we get time to bother about Raila Odinga? Raila Odinga is a Kenyan. He's a senior citizen. He's free to do what he wants. Yeah, but he's really, I must tell you, he is not among our priorities. And really, we are not really bothered, yeah, because we have work to do. We have been given a mandate by the people of Kenya, and that is what we want to focus on. And we really don't want to get involved in sideshows, by what Raila Odinga is saying, oh, he'll come, he'll not come. It doesn't matter. The function will go on. Kasarani is full. We can't even accommodate the people who are there. That is what is important. As to what he wants to do, I think we leave it to him. But I want to say we'll accord him his due respect as a senior citizen, and we expect him to lead the opposition to keep us in check. We don't want a situation where we have a one-party state. We don't want a situation where Uhuru Kenyatta swallowed the opposition and we had a mongrel of a government. You don't know who is government and who is in opposition. We are happy to have a working opposition to oversight us and keep us on check. And I invite Raila Odinga and the Azimio group to take up their place and keep us on check and oversight us and call us out when we are out of order and criticize our decisions and make suggestions as to how we can make this country better. And I think that is what the former Prime Minister should do. Immediately take up his role and lead Azimio in keeping us in check and oversighting us and making sure that we are held to account. Because it's important that we be held to account for what we do for this country.
One question from the national broadcaster. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. This is Geshoki Wachira. Looking at the just concluded polls, out of 22 million registered voters, 7.1 voted for you and William Ruto, 6.9 voted for Azimio, while another 7 million did not abstain from the vote completely. What measures will you be putting in place maybe to enhance national unity and cohesion?
But there is national unity. An election is just an event. The fact that people have voted this way and that way doesn't mean they are disunited. When I listen to the people of Kenya, people have moved on. It's only the politicians who are talking about bringing people together. Bring them together to do what? Kenyans have a new government and they want the government to start working for them. And we shall work for everybody, those who voted for us and those who did not vote for us. Kenyans are united by a desire to be served by their government. Kenyans are busy with their daily hassles. The only people who are talking about a division are the political class. But the ordinary Kenyans, you have seen, they have moved on. They have refused to go for demonstrations. They have refused to protest. And Kenyans have moved on. What we need to do ourselves is to work for the people of Kenya. We will unite them by giving them service uniformly. That's the way to unite Kenya. You don't need to do anything else. Is to take development to every part of this country. Is to create a good working environment for all Kenyans across the country without discrimination. That is the way you unite the people of Kenya, by action, by working for everybody, by treating everybody equally, by having equity, by taking development to every part of this country. That is what we intend to do.
Thank you.
Your family is here, and a number of them, including the extended family. And how crucial actually have they been with you, including even your wife? That is
my family is a wonderful family. When I got in trouble with the state because of my political stand, and the state unleashed very serious and brutal persecution mechanism, my family stood with me. My wife, Pastor Dorcas, she has prayed for me every day. She has walked with me. She has stayed by my side. She has never left me one day. My two sons, Kevin and Keith, are wonderful boys. They have been with me in very difficult times. Even when I was in prison, they were there for me, bringing me food, coming to check on me and encouraging me. My immediate family, the Kashagwa family, has been with me in prayer and supporting me and urging me on. My extended family has been very good to me. And I want to tell the people of Kenya to take care of family. But at the end of it, those are your people. When things were very difficult for me, my very good friends ran away from me. My business partners betrayed me. Others disowned me. Others switched their phones on me. Others blocked me. Others disappeared when they had them around. But my family never deserted me a single day. I want to urge the people of Kenya, please take care of your families. Show them love and compassion. Those are the only people, when the chips are done, you can rely on. All these other people can desert you, but family will also stand with you. And I'm entirely very grateful to my family for standing with me in very difficult times and circumstances.
Just a quick last one. In 2013, we saw that is Deputy President William Ruto, who is now the President-elect, accompanied by then President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta, head to State House just in the few hours before the official handover, and have a moment actually with the outgoing President then, the late Mwai Kibaki. But yesterday, we didn't see you at State House. Maybe was there a reason?
No, I was not able to go because I was busy. I was in charge of the political mobilization you have seen in Kasarani. And you know, one of the things that I do myself, one of my strengths is political mobilization. I've mobilized all my lives. I mobilized for President Moi. I mobilized for President Mwai Kibaki. I mobilized for Uhuru Kenyatta. And I told my boss, if I've mobilized for all these people, I must mobilize for myself and my boss. So I decided to take personal charge of what is going on in Kasarani. In any case, my boss went to meet his counterpart. I'm not in that level. I'm a small man. You know, I'm a very small man. And you know where I've come from. You know, I'm not even supposed to be here. If these human beings are their way, I would be elsewhere. It's only God who, miraculously, through His grace and mercy, who have allowed me to be where I am today. So I am told they had a good time, but I was busy with political mobilization to make sure that all our people are in Kasarani, they are taken care of, and I'm happy that thousands have turned up. In fact, we have a serious capacity.
As we continue to wait for the sound test, we are looking forward to having several artists who are going to be entertaining us. We have Sami Mangara, Babji.
What I need to do is that when things are settled, I need to go and look for him, and we have a cup of tea, and we chat about the good old days that we used to have together.
On a very, very light note, Bona Deputy President-elect, are you aware of your latest nickname?
I hear many things, but I stay focused.
Should I let you know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hear many things. Well, she knows many things around me. She stays around me all the time. And I've told you she has been a blessing in my life. And in these difficult circumstances for the last 4.5 years, she has held me, my hand. She has been around me. She has prayed for me. Not a single day has she ever chickened out. She's a strong woman. And even when I was almost giving up with this journey, she encouraged me to move on. The same with my two sons. They told me, Daddy, let's push on. And here we are today, and freedom is here. You know, we feel free, you know. It's not been easy. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. How do you feel today?
Very excited. One, to see my husband's dream come true, and him being given that job by Kenyans to be able to serve them. And we are ready to serve. Yeah.
You seem to quite know even his nickname, Rigiji.
Rigiji.
Does that mean you're so hands-on with whatever he does, his political life, everywhere, and how crucial have you been in his entire journey?
By divine design, I'm his helper, and that is a role I play. Yes. And you see, this other one, we have sons, and they always joke, we are family, and therefore they come and show his daddy and say, you know, this is what people are calling you, Rick G. Can you wear these my glasses and all that? It is interesting, even for him.
Going forward, what should Kenyans expect? What role will you be playing?
Supporting my husband, of course, and also taking my responsibility as a mother. Now, as a mother of the nation, together with Mother Rachel Ruto, we are going to do what a mother should do, nurture and help, and make sure that things are going on all right in the nation. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How close is the second family to the first family?
We are friends. Very close. Confidence, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Indeed, as you can hear, that is indeed very much.
Oh, well. Now, those are live pictures coming from Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua's residence there in Karen, flanked by his beautiful wife, Pastor Dorcas, who has just said in her role to execute, she is going to be a mother, but now a mother to the nation. And also on a very light moment there, she told us that she's aware that a majority of Kenyans, especially on social media, refer to her husband as Rigiji. Now, as you can see, KBC Channel 1 has you covered in the event that you've not made it to the Kasarani Stadium. While we are broadcasting from various parts of the country, Bungoma there, we're in Uasin Gishu, we are in Kilifi, we are at the Central Business District, and above all, we are where history is going to be made once again, and that is the Kasarani Stadium there. And Kenyans thronged the Kasarani Stadium from early as 2 a.m. and provisions have been made for at least 20,000 more who could not fit into the stadium that is already full to the brim. We take a quick breather. We'll be right back with this special coverage of the change of guard, where Deputy President-elect, actually President-elect and his deputy are going to be sworn in, and we are expecting Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua and his wife to arrive at the Kasarani Stadium. Afternoon there, having made history by being the first person in Kenyan history to make a stab at the presidency and succeeding his immediate boss or partner, if you like, outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta in the just concluded August polls. There, dignitaries, members of the National Assembly and bicameral parliament, so to speak, are already making way to the Kasarani Stadium. As you can see there, the boys and girls in blue, so to speak, but yes, security tightened indeed. Now let's have a listen in to what is happening on ground.
Sasa tunaikia Mandera na group ya Mandera imeingia kwa uwanja. Wapi kelele? Wapi nduru? Wapi shangwe? Wakenya mliamua, hamukuamua. Wakenya mliamuka, hamukuamuka. Wakenya mliamua, hamukuamua. Wapi shangwe, vigelegele za sherehe ya leo jameni? Wapi shangwe, vigelegele za hasla mseo ndani ya Kasarani? Ishakuwa majamaa. Karibuni. Jameni, tuwashangilie wageni wetu wanaoendelea kuingia kusherehekea na sisi kwa shangwe na vigelegele. Jameni, karibuni sana wageni wetu siku ya leo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the women you see dressed in yellow is a group known as the Mandera Women Dancers.
Sarani, we take you back. We take you to Safari Park, where our reporter Mwoki is also keeping tabs on activities there. Mwoki, to you. Good morning.
A very good morning and welcome to this live broadcast. We're coming to you live from International Sports Center Kasarani. This is just the footbridge that is at Safari Park Hotel. And of course, hundreds of people flocked the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani for the big day. This is the big day for the 5th President-elect William Samoei Ruto. And hundreds have come to witness the swearing in of the 5th President and his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua. I'll just be having a word with some of the Kenyans here who find time to remember today is a public holiday, a day that has been set aside for the swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Labda nizungumze na baadhi ya Wakenya hapa waweze kutueleza hisia zao ni zipi na waliweza kufika hapa mida ya saa ngapi. Labda nianze na huyu, hebu jitambulishe jina lako alafu tueleze hisia zako ni zipi leo.
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Malik Kasachon. Natoka sehemu ya Kapenguria. Tumesafiri usiku kucha hadi hapa. Na tunashukuru Mungu kwa safari nzuri ambayo tumetufikia sisi hapa. Tunafurahia sana Ruto the 5th. Tumetoka mbali. Na hivyo ndio vile iko sasa.
Labda uliweza kufika saa ngapi hapa?
Kwa hapa tumefika kuanzia muda ya saa 10 asubuhi. Na sasa baadhi yetu wengine tumekosa kupata nafasi ndani kule kwa sababu watu wamekuwa wengi sana. Kufika saa 10 watu walikuwa washaja tayari. Na hata hivyo kuna wenzetu wako ndani, sisi wengine tuko nje, kitu tunashukuru huku angalau tushuhudie yale ambayo tulikuwa tunafuatilia.
Matarajio yako ni yapi kama Mkenya?
Mimi matarajio yangu kama Mkenya haswa ni kwamba natarajia kwamba the 5th aweze kufanya implementation ya ile agenda ambayo aliwaekea Kenya. Tunajua yeye ni mtu shupavu, tunajua yeye ni mtu sharp, ataweza kufanya hii kazi. Si mtu mvivu ule bwana. Ule jamani mtu wa kujitegemea. Tunamtakia kila laheri na Mungu amlinde katika kazi yake pamoja na deputy wake.
Labda niweze kuzungumza na wengine, labda watueleze pia hisia zao. Labda hebu jitambulishe jina alafu tuambie hisia zako ni zipi leo.
Kwa majina naitwa Nicodemus. Mimi ni mwanarika. To witness the inauguration of the 5th president. And we are happy. Wengine tulifika huku saa 8 usiku and we are very happy. We are here to witness this inauguration and we have great hopes and great expectations with our president. Kwanza tunataka our president, tunataka kumbuke the youth Kenya. We are unemployed and we are educated and we are lucky jobs. Then venye alisema bei ya unga iende chini, Wakenya wanateseka, wanaumia na njaa, asikose kuteremsha bei ya chakula. So we are happy and we are very happy because we know Ruto will do great. And Ruto is our president, and we are very happy that he is elected as our president of Kenya, and I will serve with dignity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Maybe I get another opinion from even the gender balance. Hemu tueleze labda uliweza kufika hapa saa ngapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Maureen kutoka Gatondo, na nimefurahia sana ni kufika hapa. Tulifika mapema lakini hatungeweza kutoshea sisi wote huko, lakini tunashukuru, ila tunasema kwa president wetu tunampenda na tupe kazi sisi kama wana, lakini tunakosa kazi. At least kila mtu akuwe na opportunity kidogo kidogo, na watu wenye wanasema tuko na ukabila, hakuna ukabila. Kila mtu ni mtu na tupendane sisi wote kama brother na
maybe just when you can remember the president elect
That site's at the Kasarani Stadium. That is just as the Safaricom flyover. But what you're actually seeing are the legal minds and also dignitaries accessing the Kasarani Stadium. We understand that President of Uganda, that is Kaguta Yoweri Museveni, he's on his way to the stadium there, and that is as per his official Twitter account, while President of Rwanda there, that is Paul Kagame, flew into the country yesterday evening. We are expecting them to be among the 20 heads of states that have confirmed attendance for this inauguration ceremony there. Quite a representation there. We also have, we're expecting the president of Burundi, Evariste, there to show up any minute from now. As per what is required is at 10 a.m. dignitaries, members of the public to have sat down and settled, maybe for entertainment. And what you're seeing is a team of women from Mazera there who have been entertaining crowds at the Kasarani Stadium. This is already full to the brim, and as you've heard from one of the Kenyans who actually got onto his bike, he has not told us at what point he left Kisii County all the way to Nairobi to just have a glimpse of the president-elect, Dr. William Ruto. I don't know how far Kisii is, but definitely it is not as close. And those who come, we have those who come from Kisii here and that want to take, maybe they can tell us, sorry, how far is Kisii, and would you hop onto a bike to actually come and be part of history?
Definitely, I won't hop onto a bike, but Kisii is just close to 300 kilometers away, so it's possible to do a bike ride. If you do like a consistent 5 to 6 hours, you can be in Nairobi.
So if this person was already there by 6 a.m., if those are 6 hours, they started their journey at close to midnight?
Yes.
Also introducing our other guest to join this panel this morning on KBC Channel 1, where we're giving you special coverage of this auspicious occasion, is none other than Henry Kurauka. From what you have heard, Henry Kurauka, now that you have joined us, expectations of Kenyans are quite rife, and the conversation is centering around at least three main things. The high cost of living. They want the food prices to come down with immediate effect. If I can take you back to what they said in Bungoma, is that when the president lifts the Bible, takes the oath, and actually he puts the Bible down, they want the prices of unga to come down. How feasible is this going to be?
Yes, thank you very much. It is true, there are very high expectations. Of course, we all
kuwakaribisha viongozi wageni waalikwa kwa makofi. Gavana wa jimbo la Nairobi, Mheshimiwa Sakaja. Tumshangilieni gavana wetu wa Nairobi, Sakaja, anapoingia uwanjani. Gavana Nairobi ni kutama, watu wangu.
tulipotengewa uwanjani. Waheshima waandishi wa habari, turudi sasa pahali tumetengewa uwanjani. We appreciate the work you are doing. We really appreciate. Kindly let's move to the place set for our work. Kindly. I appreciate the work that you're doing, but kindly let us move to where we are supposed to be and clear the entrance. Thank you. Meanwhile, we are still having entertainments and tuko even Matthew ambaye tumempangilia, tuna expect kumsikia Mr. V and Ken and X-Ray pia watakuwa wakitutumiza hivi karibuni. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a historic day as we anticipate and we look forward to the swearing in of the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is going to be sworn in here as per the Constitution 2010. So, as we continue to wait, kindly members of the fourth estate, please take a step back and clear the entrance, as we would like to have our dignitaries who are going to be coming in shortly. Meanwhile, let's have entertainment continuing. Najua ya kwamba sasa Evans ni Matthew, tuende kazi.
Medio wapi nduru ya Ivante Medio.
Take care of ourselves. So if we can be able to leverage on the progress that we have made as an economy in Kenya in terms of industrialization and start using that to influence manufacturing, food production just within Kenya and also within the region, we can have that kind of reduction in terms of the cost expectation. Remember, a company like Bidco had some time back contracted farmers in Uganda to plant palm oil so that we can stop relying on palm oil from Malaysia. Okay. There was this suggestion of soya beans being planted in Kenya so that we can also start relying on soya beans produced here. So that opportunity is there. What has lacked is the political will to drive that narrative. So we need more of inward thinking in terms of how we can increase production for some of those things that we are spending a lot in terms of sourcing. And William Ruto has alluded to that we need to start producing more, and there will be a lot of investment so that we can also save ourselves on the foreign exchange.
All right, and as you can see on your screen there, split screen of what is happening in Kasarani. You have some people dancing there, and let's listen into the sights and sounds from Kasarani.
Mother there, accessing the Kasarani Stadium, and as captured by the dailies as well as KBC Channel 1 there, she's been quoted saying that she totally believes that the son is going to deliver on the promises he made. Let's see if we can get the sound there.
Amelinda sisi, ameinua sisi paka pale sisi huko sasa.
Several times saying that she is confident that her son, that is the President-elect William Ruto, who is going to be taking an oath of office in not too long, is going to deliver. Let's have a listen into more of what Kasarani has to offer.
Asante sana. Wapi kelele wewe? Ataendelea kidogo tu, tangazo moja tu. Waandishi wa habari wote walio kwenye uwanja, mnaomba tafadhali muweze kwenda kwenye mahali mmetengewa. Kuna bendera ambayo mnaiona kwenye mkono wangu wa kulia. Tafadhali tuende tusimame hapo ndo tupangwe tafadhali.
Kindly, members of the fourth estate, let us go to where the flags are. Behind the flags, we would like to have where you've been designated, tafadhali. Kwa hivyo tunaomba, members of the fourth estate, kindly let's move towards that as we continue with the entertainment. We'd like to clear the field as we get ready to begin the occasion and the ceremony for today. So kindly let us clear the field immediately. All members of the fourth estate, tafadhali, tusonge to where the flags are so that we can proceed. Tafadhali.
Well, as you can see, the MC there calling the stadium to order. It is exactly 9:38, so shy of 28 minutes, 22 minutes there to go, where everyone should be settled to give room for further entertainment not officially taking place at the center of the stadium there. And as you can see, this is the dais where we're going to have the deputy president-elect as well as the president-elect, as well as the spouses and the Chief Justice also going to sit as the ceremony kicks off. You're also seeing a few representatives of the judiciary. Remember, this is the oath of allegiance as well as the oath of it's called execution of the presidency. Some of the two oaths that President-elect there, Dr. William Ruto, is going to be swearing into to just usher in an era of his new administration. We are scattered across the country, including Bungoma, including Kilifi, Uasin Gishu County, and just to monitor the field. But as you can see from the pictures on your screen, it's quite a momentous occasion there. Dressed in the party colors, UDA, you can see women. And I like what earlier we heard from the Secretary General UDA there and nominated Senator there, Veronica Maina, saying that among her expectations is that once the cabinet lineup is actually out, that we're going to have at least 50% of representation that is women. And we say it's a patriarchal society, but the way things are looking, it's not just Kenya alone. The future is indeed female. Those are just sights and scenes. Kenyans arrived as early as 2 a.m. It's already filled to capacity, and anytime right from now, we're going to be witnessing the live performances as scheduled by the MC's card there to entertain crowds that are eagerly anticipating the arrival of President-elect William Ruto. A majority of them have left their businesses. Yes, it is a public. Yes, you can see there. We assume that that is a dad and the son donned in the party colors, UDA there, and a flag there to go, coming to witness this moment in history there. I don't know if a majority of you have ever attended these public gatherings while you were growing up. I personally only did once when we were performing for the then President Moi there, but after that I've not had the time to actually go for entertainment and patriotism. I don't know, Ben Troy, have you ever attended this ceremony, you know, when you're not a journalist, you know?
Yes, and even you remember back in the late 80s, we used to do we were donning the Kenyan flags, and then we were making some PEs, so to say, donned in colors, making some figurative things like more or less like household equipment for Moi at the Moi Stadium in Embu back in primary school. And even if we were not able to go there, we were waiting for him at the roadside, you do remember, and he always had a bag of goodies. If you remember, always had a bag of goodies back then, just to underscore how the presidents and the primary schools and schools as well are quite in sync when it comes to national events. Kids are quite elated in such events as well.
Now, as you can see on your screen, I understand this, whenever there's a ceremony within the Kalenjin community, this is what they don on. It's a bit of grass, so to speak. I'm not too sure, Dr. Rotich, maybe you can tell us what we are seeing. For me, from where I sit, I'm seeing grass. What is that?
Regina, this is a sacred tree that is used in ceremonies. Ceremonies, which are very, very important ceremonies, like circumcision. During circumcision, you see such a plant. During marriage, you see such a plant. Big ceremonies like this one. So it signifies the sanctity of the ceremony itself. It is a very, very important kind of tree-like, and it is in our ceremonies, and we do adore it as a sacred tree.
A sacred tree,
yes,
from where we said
that signifies the cleanliness of the whole ceremony itself.
Now, those are pictures. Dr. Thank you for that clarification. We thought they were grass, but now that's
no, they are not grass.
Now, these are pictures that are coming to you live from Karen. This is Deputy President's residence, but now that is where the President-elect has been, or rather is domiciled, but after today, he is definitely transiting into State House. What you're seeing on screen there is Ababu Namwamba as well as Davis Chichur there having a conversation.
In honor of the incoming president, I humbly wish to confirm that we are safe in the stadium and we remain calm wherever we are because we are safe in the stadium. Niendelee kutangaza tena ya kwamba na mlikubalie wananchi, tumeweza kuwapokea viongozi wengi kutoka pembe zote za dunia, na mkinikubalia nirudie, tukakodaye kutoka Amerika, the trade representative Catherine Tai, Minister of Intelligence of the State of Israel. Wikonaye Secretary of State to the Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs, France. We have together with us today Special Envoy of the Prime Minister of Japan. We are honored to have today the Minister of Labor of the State of Palestine. We are honored to have the Chairman of the Central Committee, People Power Party of the Republic of Korea. Tuko naye pia the Assistant to the President of Egypt and Special Envoy of the President of Egypt. We also have with us today Special Representative of the Government of China. We also have Assistant Secretary General of the Commonwealth. We have with us today the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Netherlands. Tuko naye pia the Chairman of African Union Commission, the Secretary General COMESA, the Secretary General East African Community, Mr. Peter Mathuke. We also have an Executive Director of International Conference on the Great Lakes region. Tuwapongeze na pia tuwakaribishe Secretary General of IGAD. Tuko na Executive Director for Eastern Africa Constituency, African Development Bank. We have also with us the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Gambia, the Minister for State, United Arab Emirates, Minister of State for Development, United Kingdom, Minister of State for External Affairs, India, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Qatar, Minister of State, Botswana, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kingdom of Morocco. We also have with us the former President of the Federal Republic of Germany. We also have with us today, and we welcome, the Speaker of the People's National Assembly of Algeria. We also have the President of the National Assembly of the Togolese Republic. We have the following Vice Presidents, Deputy Prime Ministers, and Deputy Presidents. We have Naibu wa Rais, Naibu Waziri Mkuu wa Cuba. Tumkaribishe pia Vice President of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Ghana, naibu wa rais wa Afrika Kusini, makamu wa rais wa Islamic Republic of Iran, member of the Transitional Sovereign Council of Sudan, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Zambia. Waheshimiwa rais watakaoungana nasi, tutawataja moja baada ya mwingine wanapoungana nasi. Entertainment, Bwana Gitonga. Haya basi, wa Kenya, tuendelee au tusiendelee? Tuendelee au tusiendelee? Mr. V and Ken mko tayari? Alafu X-ray wafuatilie. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele ya furaha leo tunapowakaribisha Mr. V and Ken and X-ray ili waendelee na makala ya entertainment.
Maisha ni yangu, washughulika na yako. Napendeza kwangu, washughulika na kwako. Misipangwingwi, sipangwingwi, misipangwingwi.
Tumkaribisha X-ray bana na shuduru shangwe vigelegele.
Wow. Tuone, tuone, tuone. Maisha ni yangu, washughulika na kwako. Napendeza kwangu, washughulika na kwako. Yo, misipangwingwi, sipangwingwi, sipangwingwi. Pia hasha, sipangwingwi, sipangwingwi. Pia hasha, watu wapupana.
Asante sana DJ Bani, asante sana DJ Bani. Wananchi, tunazidi kuwakaribisha tunapojiandaa kuingia kwenye ratiba rasmi. Wageni wetu tunazidi kujiunga nasi, nikiomba wale wote ambao wako kwenye jukwaa rasmi, tukisha waleta wageni wetu tunapeana nafasi kwa wale wanashughulikia itifaki ili kuweza kuwapa wageni wetu nafasi ya kuketi. Ningependa kuwakaribisha nyote, ikiwa ni siku ya furaha, siku ya leo. Mwenyezi Mungu ametujalia siku njema, nchi iliyojaa nyama, maziwa na asali, nchi ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Siku ya leo tunapomwapisha rais wetu wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Rais Daktari William Samoei Ruto. Na ili kuweza kuingia katika nafasi nyingine, ningependa kupisha bendi yetu ya utawala, bendi ambayo inajulikana kwa wimbo wao ambao ni Utanikumbuka, Dunia Haina Wema. Siku ya leo wamejiandaa kwa muziki mbalimbali, ikiwa ni njia ya kujitayarisha kuwalaki wageni wetu rasmi. Utawala banda, twende kazi.
Umetoka